A former protection officer for Russian President Vladimir Putin who defected last night has given details about the paranoid lifestyle of Putin. A secret train network, identical offices in different cities, a strict personal quarantine and escalating security protocols are some of the measures believed to have been implemented by Putin to thwart any potential threat to his life, reported The Guardian. Our president has become a war criminal, warned Gleb Karakulov, who had been a communications expert for Putin's secretive elite personal security team, the Federal Protective Service or FSO. Detailing an ever-increasing paranoia in the daily actions of the leader, Gleb Karakulov said, Putin fears assassination plots. He spends most of his time living in a bunker at the Russian embassy in Kazakhstan outfitted with a secure communications line. Karakulov's detailed interview by the Dossier Center confirmed the credentials of the senior Russian communications engineer, who traveled with Putin extensively and helped transmit some of his most secret messages, The Guardian said. Gleb Karakulov said such measures were designed to mask the whereabouts of Putin, whom he described as pathologically afraid for his life. Putin uses a covert train for stealth purposes so that it cannot be tracked on any information, he said. Never saw Putin with a mobile phone. Karakulov said he has taken more than 180 trips with Putin, nearly always in a special armored train rather than a plane because of paranoia about flights getting tracked. Putin is in constant fear that he could. In all my service, I have never seen him with a mobile phone, Karakulov was quoted by the New York Post as saying. All the information he receives is only from people close to him. That is, he lives in a kind of information vacuum. Our president has lost touch with the world, he said. He has been living in an information cocoon for the past couple of years, spending most of his time in his residences, which the media very fittingly call bunkers. He is pathologically afraid for his life. He surrounds himself with an impenetrable barrier of quarantines and an information vacuum. He only values his own life and the lives of his family and friends, Gleb Karakulov revealed. Virtual state within a state. Describing what seems to be a virtual state within a state, Karakulov said that includes firefighters, food testers and other engineers who travel with Putin on his trips abroad. They call him the boss, worship him in every way and only ever talk of him in those terms, he said. He confirmed that Putin relies heavily for information on reports provided by his security services, the report said. He only receives information from his closest circle, which means that he lives in an information vacuum, he said. Karakulov also described setting up secret communications for Putin on planes, helicopters, lavish yachts and even in a bomb shelter at the Russian embassy in Kazakhstan during an October 2022 visit when Karakulov ultimately fled to Turkey and from there to an undisclosed country in the West. Putin still in quarantine. Spilling further beans, Karakulov said Putin's behavior and lifestyle had altered significantly since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, when the president retreated from most travel and public appearances. Putin is still in quarantine and requires all staff working in the same room as him to also undergo a 2-week quarantine, severely limiting the number of people who have personal contact with him, the report added. He has shut himself off from the world, Karakulov said. His take on reality has become distorted. He added that the Russian president uses identical offices in St. Petersburg, Sochi and Novo-Ogaryovo. Karakulov said he finally fled in October with his wife and young daughter, despite fearing for their safety.